Hi, this is Eric. My friend Mark Fewell is one of those people who weaves adventure into every aspect of his life. I love hearing his stories, but even after knowing him for 10 years, I still want to ask, so what exactly do you do?
I do a lot of things. I'm a company director. I'm on the board of a global charity. I do television show hosting, particularly around surfing and triathlon and adventure sports.
70 kilometres per hour.
I have a law degree. I actually practiced law for 10 years. For 20 years, I've also been a journalist. I write a blog, I surf, I ski, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do when I grow up. Well, I'm Australian, but I was actually born in England. My dad and my mother had both spent a lot of time in Australia and loved it, and so when I was 4, my parents decided to emigrate. I spent from 5 or 6 through to 11 living in a caravan and travelling the country, and my childhood was one of change and adapting and kind of exploring the weird places that I went to. We moved to Manly, which is a beach suburb of Sydney, when I was 11 years old, and then that's where I learned to surf. There are very few things quite like surfing. You're an artist on a canvas, you know, this sort of liquid canvas that you're expressing yourself on. And what I love about it is this freedom of spirit. You are completely in it. It's an incredible feeling, and the lifestyle of surfing is one that is really largely unparalleled. Boost was one of the first lifestyle branded phone companies. The whole reason why I joined was because, you know, the pitch was, hey, we want to do stuff with surfing and motocross and music, and I'm like, well, that's my world. I want to be part of that. The opportunity was to launch the business here in the US. So my role was part of a small advanced team to set this thing up, this thing we call Boost. Now, when you've got a budget of over $100 million, you can do some pretty significant things and you can have a lot of fun. So Movember is the world's leading charity for men's health, and it's a simple premise. In the month of November, which is now renamed to Movember, you grow a moustache and you encourage others to grow a moustache, and you get your moustache sponsored. And it's all about raising money for men's health, so primarily prostate cancer, testicular cancer and mental health. And also encouraging men to have conversations about their health, because in general we're not good at that. And last year raised over $145 million worldwide. You know, I feel like I'm part of something bigger than myself, that I'm dedicating my time to something worthwhile. There's something about the telling of stories that I've always loved. So when blogging came along, I decided that I was going to launch Leisure Activist. It's really my insight on the world, but I try to capture stories from wherever I go. At 4, I was travelling the world, and it was obviously in my genes because my dad was a crazy adventurer. He and my mother, for their honeymoon, he had this beautiful Vincent Black Shadow motorbike. They got out of the church, they jumped on it, and they went and rode around Europe for 6 weeks on this motorbike, and I was literally conceived on the back of that motorbike. So I'm a product of adventure. In 2007, my dad, who was 72 at the time, he said, I want to ride across the highest road in the world. It's in the Indian Himalayas, and it's about 19,362 feet, something like that. And it's dangerous and it's crazy, and I thought, how many people get to do that with their 70-plus-year-old father?
Was it scary?
It was scary as all shit. Because I'm not a massively experienced motorcyclist. I learnt to ride at 40-something years of age. And 3 months later, I was thrust into crazy mud, camels, people, trucks for a month. And it was incredible. It was life-changing. I've always been able to find a pathway to things My career was always about, well, how do we do this new thing? You know, there have been many things that I've been involved in that either hadn't been done before or there wasn't a clear path. Personally, I love going on those unknown adventures.